So about 6 years earlier, on 8th of January, I guess 2019, I was just going and doing the normal errand every you know big boy or every boy does in the house. I just went to buy some milk. Okay, and jokes apart, I just went to buy some milk, and when I was coming back after I bought the milk and stuff, I saw there was a puppy there. Okay, and the puppy was near a store that I frequently visited. So there was a puppy there. Okay. At first it just felt like it was kind of like a normal scene that you see around where I live, because the surrounding is full of what I can say, people who have no sense of no sense of kindness or something like that, because they would I've seen since I was a child, people, not actually people, I'm not talking about adults here, literal kids throwing around newborn puppies. And let me just repeat the phrase, newborn puppies. I'm not even talking about the puppies that are able to walk and stuff, the puppies who whose eyes were not even open at that time, and those kids used to just throw them around and played with them. And all I could do was just watch, because there was nothing I could do here, because we are in the minority here. We are and everyone around us is kind of like that, so they would just unite against us and we would be able to do nothing, because we live in Bihar. Okay, so I saw that puppy. Now I knew that definitely my parents would never accept a dog, so I just fed him Parle-G biscuits that I had at that time. 3 rupees Parle-G biscuits. Okay, so basically two. So I'm sorry, I just got a call if the video was disrupted. So basically, I fed him a Parle-G biscuit and then I went home. I knew he was shivering, but there was nothing I could do, because I was a kid too, and 6 years back I was around 12-year-old. And just to let you know, I've always mentioned in all of my videos that I've been kind of like a scared and coward kid since childhood, so I never really went against my parents, or even I have been a yes man my entire childhood. So you can think what kind of child I was. Okay, so I fed him and I went home. Now at that time my uncle was here. Okay, so I went home and then I started telling them that there was this dog, and I fed him when he was shivering. So my uncle said that go bring him. Okay, and now the thing was that definitely the uncle wasn't going to stay here for very long, right? I mean, he lived in Mumbai. So I was going to live with my parents as general, so I wasn't really going to take the risk. I mean, it was kind of very big decision that I had to make, because the dog was going to be here in this house. But I went and we convinced my mother that we would bring the dog. We would just keep him warm for some time, and the moment the weather gets a little better, we would leave him with the blanket. So there is like a dairy which doesn't really have cows, doesn't really had cows at that time, but it was still a good place, kind of a sheltered place. So my mother wasn't agreeing, but my uncle insisted that I should bring him. So I went and I was so happy. See, the thing is that it's not like my parents hated dogs, just all of them. It was more like they when I was a kid. Okay, by kid I mean when I was 3-4 years old, my parents actually bought a dog in, and they had the dog for very long. But he was actually very you can say mischievous, but very aggressive actually, not mischievous. And when I was a kid, he actually, you know, scratched me through his paws in my neck, and it was bleeding. And I was a kid again. I'm going to repeat that. So that, and a lot of things happened. He destroyed a lot of stuff, you know. So because of that, my parents finally made a decision that keeping him here would be um, like unsafe for me. So they kind of just left him near Nepal's border, and they came back. Now, when I heard, whenever I heard this story, it always felt like that it was like my fault that that dog was left at that place. But I think my parents' decision was right, and the fault wasn't of dogs. Okay, it was my grandmother's fault really, because she just had different, she spoiled him so much. And by spoil, I don't mean the cute spoiled things you see on the internet. By spoiled, I literally mean my grandmother used to take him out and made him eat gobar and his own feces, uh, thinking that I know that dogs eat feces, and any animal eat feces to clear his gut if he's suffering from worms and stuff, but he does that naturally. You don't force it, right? So my grandmother did that. So because of that, I think the dog didn't really knew what was the boundaries, and didn't really knew what was a good thing and what was a bad thing. So yeah, all of the blame actually goes to my grandmother. But so this was the reason that we didn't really had dogs. And we had all of the other stuff. We had rabbits or bunnies, whatever you call it. I know they are both different types of things, but different breeds. But honestly, I don't know really. But I guess rabbits, because I do think bunnies are more, round shaped. So I do think, I'm very sorry, I just had to set the frame. Okay, so I had that. I had many turtles since I was a kid. Turtles, tortoises, many birds. We didn't really keep them at cage, but we have rescued a lot of birds, and we had a lot of birds. And then we would, after they recovered, we just let them fly away. So I had, like, we had, our family had a lot of animals since I was a kid. And my house, so half part of my house had angan basically was like open place, and we had kind of like gardening. So there were plants and trees, and there were lot of animal comes like squirrels and stuff. I saw a lot of sparrows and other birds coming and sitting at our trees, and this was a normal scenery for us, and it was beautiful. But so why I mentioned to you, because it will be easier to understand the future part. So I went there. I wrapped it in a boda. By boda, I am not really boda bodi, whatever you call it. Basically, the thing that contains your rice and you know basically it contains I guess potatoes and stuff. So that thing here is called like even I cannot really pronounce the name, but it's like chittiga boda or something like that. And it's basically something that is used to keep potatoes, stored potatoes. And so I bought it, and it's made of I don't really know, but maybe it's made from, I guess, coconut thread or something like that. But yeah, something which is very comfortable. So we bought that, and my uncle had a red colored sweater, no jacket lying around, which he didn't really wear. I mean, it was kind of old, very old. Okay, so we just wrapped in it in a basket. I have the photos, you can see them. And we put him in there, so he came and he just slept around it, like twirled up and slept. And at that time it was kind of very debateful that, like, definitely my father didn't really saw it, but and my uncle has always been this mischievous guy with this, kid energy from my childhood. And so if he did something, it was basically like a normal thing. Okay, so definitely I was scared to death at that point, because I just thought that what if my parents saw it, what will be their first reaction. And I have been like, my father don't really beat me, but I've been scared of him my entire life. Okay, and my parents never really, actually, my father has only slapped me 4 times till now. I'm 19 years old. And so this is, so I'm not saying that my parents were abusive or anything, but I was still scared of my father a lot. So because of that, I tried so I kept him in our angan, so a little bit of sunlight can came to him. So he slept, and we had renters at that time. And well, they were I grew up with them, so they were like my only friends at that time. Because as I guess I mentioned in my previous video, because of the surrounding we live in, I never really got the chance to make friends. Okay, and I'm not being sad, but it's just a fact. Okay, and I feel good that I didn't make friends with kids like them. Okay, so, and at one side I'm scared of it. At one side I'm feeling very happy that a new family member has come to our house. Okay, and then after some time, we took some photos of him, and we finally slept. And then debate started that whether we should keep him or not. And now, after some time, after 2 or 3 hours, he finally woke up, and he actually, just with his little paws, he just went in our puja room. Okay, now puja room is basically where we have, like, like a church or something. So it's like a mini church, but for Hindu people. So there is like statues, or little statues, or pictures of our our gods. And we just do our prayers and stuff. Okay, now I'm very sorry for this, but it keeps going down. So he went there. Now, you see, in Bihar, or because it's not really that developed here, mentality lies that dogs and other animals are cursed. Okay, or they are unpure, so you shouldn't really bring them closer to any devotees. And it's just lies between, it's some kind of a radical thought, I guess. So even though like dog is kind of related to a deity known as Bhairav, okay, in Hinduism. So I don't know how people develop a mentality when they really when they worship Bhairav, which is said to have a form of dog. Okay, so yeah, you can just think about it, how people's mentality really was so messed up here. Now that happened, and so he went there. And my mummy was there, and she was cleaning the room. She saw him, and then she kicked him. And after that, I guess he never really all these 6 years he never went inside that room. But so he kicked him. Now my heart rate went more up. Now my mom will not let him even stay a little longer. So my mom just said, okay, my mom shouted that, okay, has warmed up, just take him away. And I went there, I put him down there, and I cried, and then I came home. And the dairy isn't really far away. It's few steps away, like few steps ahead of our house. But then when my mom slept, we went back and bought him again, because now we got attached to him so much that it almost became impossible for us to leave him. And then the whole thing happened, and lot of debate happened, and we tried every single way to convince my parents, and finally my mom agreed on the fact that I will be doing everything. Okay, and for it to everything, like cleaning his, taking him out, cleaning, giving him food, cleaning his waste and stuff. So it became kind of my responsibility, and that is how we had chotaBarud. Actually, that name in English converts to small gunpowder. And we named him Rocky afterwards because that name was too big to pronounce. Actually wanted to name him Jackie for some reason. That just felt very cool to me. But we, at our last, my mom named him Rocky, and we just agreed to that because that was not really the point where we wanted to make my mom angry anymore. And that is how we had Rocky, and we spent so much time with him, and a lot of memories, and I had my first pet dog ever, and I think the video is long enough, so I will keep it at that way. I will make videos about Rocky in many parts. Okay, so the first part consists of how he came to our house. The second part, I will talk about the time we spent together and a lot of stories about him, the little incident that he did. And then we will talk about, today, why I made this video today is because today is the first death anniversary of my dog Rocky. And I know I had a lot of other topics in mind too. Let's just talk about that and this, but I did thought that maybe today is the perfect time to actually talk about it and share my experience with you, and the kind of gem he was to us, and I will talk about you that how just keeping a dog will change even a monster to shed tears when he is gone. I will tell you about all of this. So definitely, this time I don't care if you like or not, like or subscribe this video or not, but definitely comment down if you ever had a pet, and share your experiences. And I've been one of those guys who have felt and have been through that grief and that grieving time when that dog that you spend your entire life with, your buddy, leaves you. So I will make this video in many parts so that it's easier for you to watch. And so the Rocky star, I mean, I'm not really, to be honest, today I'm not really feeling very sad. It just feels nostalgic for some reason, and I mean, I wonder why I'm not feeling sad, but it just feels very nostalgic, and instead of sad, I'm happy that we had that time together. I'm not saying that positively because I'm really in real life a crybaby. I cry a lot. And I will tell you the story of the dog that we have right now. His name is Jackie. And I will tell you the whole transition and everything about it. So stay with us, and definitely, if you just want to watch the future videos, please subscribe and turn the notification that, and I will try to upload the parts as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Sayonara.